Alright, so I was wondering why I was so zoomed in, but I just didn't crop Streamlabs correctly, so I'm an idiot. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. This is your host, Dread Pirate Maki, and today I'm actually going to do something I really am actually into pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, Doom, stuff like that. Sort of like the Wendigoon idea, actually, like the great cosmic scale fantasy, Last of Us, stuff like that. What I did, I started getting some figurines from things that I like, because I don't have much on my desk right now, except for a bunch of decks of cards and a tiny little owl. Isn't he cute? I bought him from a gas station. I literally saved this man. Imagine having to live at a gas station. But anyway, what I bought today is actually something that is difficult to find. It's not like incredibly rare. It's not like a collector's item or anything, but it's you have to go searching for it if you want to find it. What I have gotten is Lord Sauron from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you know who Sauron is. I'm not going to assume everyone knows about Lord of the Rings, but I grew up reading Lord of the Rings. I love that book. I like the movies too, but the book, incredible. Greatest piece of literature in the last 100 years. I'm convinced. This is the creator of the One Ring. He built the Rings of Power, but essentially the One Ring's power calls out to Sauron and needs to be one with him, which is why it's such a burden for those who carry it, aka Frodo or Bilbo or Smeagol / Gollum. And this is his form that he took thousands of years ago when he was fighting the elves, and they chopped off his finger in the first scene, and they got the ring back, and Isildur did not destroy it in the fire like he was supposed to. And then later, Gollum takes Frodo and Sam through the dead swamps, and they see like the bodies and the spirits and stuff. That was the same battlefield. It was the bodies and spirits of elves. That's what I got. Super cool. I am going to unbox him. For me, it'll take a little while, but for you, it's probably just going to cut to it. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take a little while to open it. I'm just going to open it like a kid, because the kid in me is what's enjoying this. This is not a collector's item. This is to be awesome on my desk next to the Marauder. So, the guy apparently was a smoker. I'm probably offending somebody by opening this package. People get all up in arms when you open toys on the internet, like your Funko Pops that you're supposed to keep sealed or whatever. I'm not into that life. Lord of the Rings came out in 2003 to 2006, I think, if I remember correctly. So this is a good 15 years old, but it was only $27. Same thing with the Marauder. I tried to buy a Marauder action figure 2 years ago when Doom came out in 2020. It has been sold out since then, and my brother happened to find one at a pawn shop for $60, which is a lot of money for an action figure, but I think it was worth it. Is that not super cool? I wonder if it'll oh, it does autofocus. Haha. I've never seen that before. Like I said, this is a new camera. Sauron. So the reason I chose this one too, but look at the let me let it focus again. Look at the armor details on this and tell me that's not awesome. His iconic mace. This one probably won't focus. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. There's actually a line after that too, and I forget what it is off the top of my head, but it's in the darkened land or something like that. It's a whole entire poem that he wrote in the book. That's just the section of the poem that's inscribed onto the One Ring. It's the Mordor section of that poem. So there were 9 rings altogether, which is what brings up the Rings of Power TV show from Amazon, but we're not talking about that in this video. That's a different topic. Each one of them has a section in the poem. 3 for the dwarves, blah blah blah, whatever, you know what I mean? And then the end of the poem is one ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all into the darkness, bind them in the Shadowlands or something like that. It's super cool. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, last thing I'm going to say, this is actually from Lord of the Rings. This is from the Paths of the Dead, when Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, they are about to be attacked. Gondor kind of resides right outside of the gates of Mordor. Like, they've been there for thousands of years. It wasn't intentional, but they're very close to each other. So in proximity, when Mordor starts to attack, Gondor is going down first. Aragorn is a true king of Gondor based on his lineage, but it's currently led by a steward king. He was lied to, and he also is a terrible person. So in the story, they need more hands for the war, obviously. Aragorn is like, we are at the last of the last straw. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel. We will be destroyed if we do not have more people. We need to take a risk. We need to go under the mountain, and we need to call upon the paths of the dead and to fulfill their oath. Which totally ruined the tension there. So there's this other city that Gondor, led by Aragorn's great-grandfather or grandfather, I forget which one, they made an alliance with. And when they called for aid, they needed to come and help them out. When Gondor called for aid, these people did not come. So Aragorn's ancestor cursed this army that would not let their souls rest until they have repaid their vow. So under the mountain near where Gondor is, there's literally a city of the dead because nobody called upon them. And as far as the book knows at this point, that lineage has been lost because the Steward King is in charge, and the rest of them have been taken out. So as far as they know, they're in this for eternity because nobody ever actually broke that curse. What happens is Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are like, we need an army. And then Aragorn remembers, I am the lineage to call upon the armies of the dead. And the only way I can prove it to them is with, I forget what the sword's name is because they always name their swords. But it's the blade that was broken. The one that cut off the ring off of Sauron's finger. And they have reforged it, and it's Aragorn's sword now. He carries it as the rightful king of Gondor. As they're going into the mountain, they find the stone paths of the dead, and they know where they are. The horses freak out, and they run away. Legolas looks over the door, and actually goes right to left. And he sees these symbols, and he quotes a poem that was also written by Tolkien. It wasn't just made up for this moment. And says, the way is shut. It was made by those who are dead, and the dead keep it.
The way is shut.
So that's what this means. End of the story. They go in. It's super creepy, super scary, and they're like, by what authority do you come in?
None but the king of Gondor may command me.
And he pulls out the sword, the blade that was broken, and they were like, that blade was broken.
That blade was broken.
He said, it has been remade, and then calls upon them, and they go onto the ships, and they just destroy the entire army. It's so cool. Anyway, watch Lord of the Rings. If you have an extra $20, I'm serious about this. If you have an extra $20, one of your paychecks, go to Apple Books or Google Play Book, find The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, the first one, narrated by Andy Serkis. He's the one who did the voice and played Gollum. He did the entire body capture for that character as well. Incredible actor. He narrates this book. He literally took time out of his busy schedule as an actor to sit down and make an audiobook of Lord of the Rings. And he does the voices too. So you have the guy who actually played Gollum doing the voice for Gollum in an official Lord of the Rings audiobook. It's super cool. And it's like $20 right now. So if you have $20, go buy it. Not a sponsor. So anyway, yeah, that's the cool thing that I did today. Let me know how this microphone sounds and how the video looks, because I'm actually super impressed, and I'm going to start streaming soon. I'm hoping to stream The Last of Us for spooky season coming up. I promise I'll get a pop filter so I don't keep peeking every 5 seconds.